Hello everyone, today we're taking a look at an interesting airgun, the Haenel Model 310. The 310 is a bolt-action repeater that shoots round lead balls from a removable magazine. It is 4.4mm caliber and has a rifled bore. The 310 was made from 1960 to 1989 and there were many variations during that run. Basic design goes all the way back to 1933. After the German reunification, a large number of Haenel airguns, mostly 310s, were imported into the USA. Some 310s were also purchased in Europe and brought back to the stateside over the years. The 310 was intended for short-range shooting, generally around 6 to 7 meters. Many of these 310s are club guns and have seen extensive use, but they seem to be very durable and even well-used samples function well. Parts are still available for these airguns, and I will include links in the video description below. I have 3 different versions of the 310 today. The top rifle is probably made in the 1970s and is the most common type seen in the United States. The middle rifle has a nice adjustable trigger, but is otherwise identical to the first rifle. The bottom 310 belongs to my friend and was bought new in East Germany in 1982. The main difference is the target stock. The performance of all 3 rifles is identical. All 3 guns weigh between 5.5 and 6.25 pounds. The 2 older guns have 16-inch barrels and are 41.5 inches long. The newer 310's barrel is about 1.5 inches shorter, but that's because it does not have the countered bored section at the muzzle like the 2 older guns have. The length of pull of all 3 is 13.5 inches. The stocks on all 3 guns are a very plain hardwood. The 2 older models have a varnish finish. The newer 310 has a nicer matte finish. All 3 stocks have a plain butt with grooves, but the grooves do nothing to keep the rifle in place while shooting. The serial numbers are stamped on the side of the stock and there is no date code. The safeties on the guns without adjustable triggers are manual. Pull out for safe, push in for fire. On all 3 guns, if the bolt is not in the lockdown position, the trigger is blocked. The gun with the adjustable trigger has an automatic safety. It comes on as soon as the bolt is raised. The rear sights on the 2 older models is a simple V-notch that is adjustable for elevation only. The newer 310 has a nicer rear sight that's also adjustable for elevation. The sights are entirely adequate for the short range where these guns are used. Unfortunately, there's no way to mount an optical sight on these guns. All 3 guns use the same front sight, but sometimes the hood is missing. The non-adjustable triggers are 2-stage and they break around 4.5 pounds. They're fairly smooth. The adjustable trigger breaks right around 18 ounces. Unfortunately, the second stage is a little bit indistinct. The Haenel 310 uses a removable magazine. They can hold 6, 8, or 12 balls and are interchangeable across all different versions. H&N and other companies still make the 4.4mm round balls in both plain lead and copper-coated versions. In Europe, these are as common as steel BBs are here in the United States. These round balls are Diana brand, but they're actually made by H&N. The round balls weigh 7.3 grains. I prefer the coated rounds since they will not oxidize and they're easier to see in the magazine. Steel BBs should never be used in a 310. They may jam and they will definitely damage the fine rifling. To load the 310's magazine, you just press the balls into the magazine. If you press this little lever here, that will unload the magazine. The magazines fit in the gun only one way. The 310's bolt is drawn back to compress the mainspring and load a ball into the barrel. Since the fulcrum is under this metal cover here, there's not much mechanical advantage and it takes about 25 pounds of force to cock the rifle. The 310 is fairly smooth for a spring gun and it is very quiet enough that you could shoot it inside. All three of these different 310s have the same performance. The muzzle velocity averages around 380 to 400 feet per second. This gives you about 2.7 foot-pounds muzzle energy with the 7.3 grain round balls. Not enough for humane hunting, but definitely enough to have fun plinking in the backyard. Next, I'll show a string of 5 shots, followed by a few targets and some plinking. Until next time, take care and thank you for your time. I hope you've enjoyed my review of the Haenel Model 310.